Man, all right. So we just sat down, bro. Literally, I just met you in person, first time, bro. This is cool. I got my guy Jeff here with me,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
another land flipper, very successful, young, black, rich, legendary. That's what it is. So,
Yes, sir.
where did you just come in from? Florida?
Yeah, in Florida, I flew down. I mean, I actually flew out of Fort Lauderdale,
Mhm.
where I'm originally from.
Yes, sir.
Um, Flight was 6 hours. You know how it is, man. Cali's always like 5, 6 hours away. But I don't mind, man. I love Cali. I think Cali's honestly gonna be my second home here. I see myself living here in probably like the next 3 years,
Yeah.
4 years. I like it out here, man. The weather is amazing. A lot of opportunity out here too, man,
Yes, sir.
especially when it comes to land flipping. Not a lot of people know about it out here, and I think this is a good market for sure to
Absolutely.
get in and teach people, other people out here, what land flipping is.
Yes, sir. So, whereabouts in Cali though? You looking to kind of set up shop though?
Man, I love it here in Santa Ana, bro.
Yeah.
It's nice, dog. Like just driving in, I'm like, man, it's so clean out here, bro.
It's
Everything is
different
just,
from LA.
bro,
Yeah.
it's way different from
Yeah.
LA. LA is a little bit crowded, a lot of
Yeah.
homeless people. And don't get me wrong, there's homeless people everywhere, but dog, I haven't seen not one homeless person here, not yet,
You
you know.
you rarely see him, bro.
Yeah,
You see him, but you and then watch later today. We about to go to like lunch and stuff. So I'll take
yeah.
you to like New. You ever been to Newport?
Bro, put me
Laguna
on.
Beach?
Bro,
Nothing.
take me to the best
Yeah,
places out here in Santa
that's
Ana,
where we're
bro.
going right after. You're gonna be like, man, I'm moving here today.
Nah, for sure, bro. I'm riding with you, bro. Like I said, I ain't got the car, you know.
Let's get it.
There's a little shorty take the Tesla, so let her ride out.
But yeah, bro. So how long you been flipping land and everything? Like, break down the whole thing for me.
So man, I've been wholesaling land for about 5 years now.
Okay.
5 years, full time. Um, I've been able to close over 400, 500 land deals. Dude, I've been able to help make other people hundreds and thousands of dollars. Like I've been in this business for a really long time, man, and I love it. I love it. I don't necessarily buy and resell land. I wholesale it. So everything is just controlled by paperwork, contracts. And all I'm doing, man, I'm just, getting these lots under contract. And then I'm partnering up and working with, big time developing companies like DR Horton, Miranda Homes. So these are people that I partner with on a monthly basis, and
Yeah.
I supply these guys 10, 15, 20 lots a month where they're banging it out, closing it in 30, 45 days. So, the turnaround is a lot quicker, which
Yeah.
is why I love it. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes care of the bills, it takes care of all other expenses for me as well. Because
Right.
the turnaround is so good, so quick, and the payout is it's a nice payout for
Right.
sure, 100%.
Man, what would you say kind of got you into real estate? I know you were an athlete because for me, bro, it was like just I wanted to make as much money as possible. Did you think about anything else before like
Nah, man. Like, dude, out of college, Olu, like I was lost, bro. Just like everybody else, just trying to figure themselves out after college. Kind of went through an identity crisis because I'm just like, man, I went from playing Division 1 basketball to now I'm over here working at Home Depot making $300 a week.
mm,
So kind of reality hit me, I want to say it was kind of a funny story. I was at Home Depot. This is when it really hit me, Olu, when I needed to change my life. I was at Home Depot. I was clocked in, had my apron on, everything. A old lady just comes up to me and just asks me, "Hey, do you know where's the light bulb aisle is?" And her teeth just falls out, and I'm just like, that's when
I
it's
gotta get out of this shit,
yeah. Hey, bro, when her teeth fell out in front of me, I was like, all right, yeah, I got to get out of
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like this is not where it's at. This is not who I am. This doesn't even look good on me. You know what I'm saying? Working a 9 to 5 doesn't look good on me, bro.
fell out.
So, so after her teeth fell out, dog, I was just out of there.
Right.
I literally was just, man, I partnered up with my boy DeAndre. So, man, just to take a little steps back. So, me and my partner, who's my business partner with our land flipping academy,
Mhm.
he's the one who introduced me to real estate.
Gotcha.
And, we got hired at the same time working at this corporate company at Enterprise. And, when I met this dude, bro, like he was just different. Although he was just wired different. Mind you, I didn't have no type of financial literacy. I wasn't reading books in college. Dude, I was a student athlete. All I wanted to do was put the ball in the hoop and eventually go play pro,
Yeah.
which obviously other things took a turn. But man, I met DeAndre. He was just all real estate, real estate. And I didn't understand what he was saying. He was like, hey man, I'm only here to learn how to sell.
Yeah.
I don't know how to sell. And
Talk to
I'm
people.
just using this job to kind of, get better at just pitching myself and
Yeah.
closing more deals. And I'm like, bruh, then what are you here for? Like, do you see yourself working 4 years, 5 years for this company? Because I saw myself slaving away because after college, man, this was my first real job. So I was making 50K a year and I thought this was money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 50K a year. I'm looking at it like, bro, kind of getting settled in,
And
kind of
now
started getting complacent a little bit. Like, hey man, I made it.
spend that on trips now though,
Man, listen,
huh?
50K, man, 50K is nothing now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We going out the country, man. We having fun, bro. We just enjoying life. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But before, man, I thought 50K in a year was just a whole bunch of money because growing up, man, my peoples are from the islands, right? My parents are born and raised in Haiti. So, when they came to America, it was just different, right? It was just, hey, I got my baby. I'm the oldest out of four. So,
Okay. Brothers or
you know,
sisters?
brother, I have two brothers, two younger brothers, and I have a younger sister.
Okay.
So I'm the oldest. And my parents saw me as pretty much the head of the family, like, hey man, I want you to,
Leader.
lead by example, go to school, go to college, get a degree, and get a good job. And I did all that. Olu, when I graduated college, I was the first person in my family to graduate college with a bachelor's degree. Finished graduating, got my first corporate job making 50K a year. I was making more money than everybody in my family. And I thought, hey man, I did it.
Right.
But, reality hit me. When I met DeAndre, he told me straight up, man, we're not even gonna be here for 6 months. And we ended up getting fired during COVID. My son was just born. He was like 2 or 3 months old. And that's when it hit me like, yo, nobody really gives a fuck about me.
Don't, bro.
And then, dude, from right there, the minute I got fired, that's when my mindset shifted. And you know, I wasn't all in real estate after I got fired. I was still kind of tiptoeing because I was like, hey man, I need a job. I got a kid, and don't get me wrong, I had a few $1,000s saved up, so I was good. I wasn't going too crazy, but
Right.
I ended up picking up that part time job at Home Depot just to pay the bills, and
Yeah.
then on the side, I was just all in real estate after the teeth moment when the
Right.
lady teeth
Man,
fell
that
out.
would have that would have had me sprinting out of that thing, man.
Man, listen, Olu, bro, I was all in after that, dog, all
Yeah.
in, and I was just like, you know what? After that, I called up my boy DeAndre. I was like, hey, man, I don't give a fuck how long it takes. Let's do it. Let's get
Yeah.
this money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so it was really just that drive to like, I know that there's more, huh?
nah, for sure.
For me, bro, that's really what it was too, is like knowing that I could have more. And I always been like to the point where I feel like with my parents and everything, they just always kind of told me there's more out there and I would see it. You feel me?
Yeah,
So um for me, just getting into real estate was just knowing that you can make a lot of money and you could do these deals. And like my first from day one, like getting into land flipping, I was just trying to do big deals.
yeah.
Like I was sending to like the like 200 acres, 300 acres, like
Wow.
my first, because that's how I just thought. I was
Yeah.
just trying to go big, bro. So my first deals, like I'm making like 40,000, 50,000, 200,000. Like these are my first couple deals I'm doing because
Wow.
I'm aiming after big deals
Mm,
only. You know what I mean? And
mm,
I'm talking to these people that are like, these guys are wealthy people. So
mhm.
they usually like, when you have a seller that is in pain, you're able to kind of like exploit that pain a little bit. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's
yeah.
like, oh yeah, and I need this money to pay this or pay that. But some of these sellers I end up talking to, some of these guys were like, yeah, no, I don't really have any pain. I just want to sell this. And
Yeah,
you just have to have a conversation to build a rapport.
of
So I
course.
started learning from like the top level of how to sell somebody on yourself from the beginning. And like, yeah, bro, that's just paid off so well. Just like doing these larger deals, bro. And yeah, bro.
That's fire, bro. Because I'm be honest, when I got into real estate, I wasn't thinking about 100K payouts,
Yeah.
200K
That's
payouts,
the first
dude.
thing I thought about.
And that's crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like the fact that off the rip, this is what you're chasing.
Right.
Me, the first thing I was chasing was, man, freedom.
Yeah.
Just getting out of my job. I didn't care if I make 10K a month, 20K a month.
Right.
As long as I knew that, hey, I can make this consistently every single month and not have to work a 9 to 5, dude, that was the greatest feeling ever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So starting off, I wasn't thinking about those home run deals. I was just thinking about, dude, just getting out of my job.
Right.
So that way I can find and do something where I can just work on my own schedule, on my own time every single day.
Right.
So starting off, man, my first deal, my first real estate check was $5,000. That was
Mhm.
the most money I ever made, bro,
Right.
on a
In one
deal.
sitting, huh?
On one setting,
Yeah.
that first deal felt like $1 million because it was just like proof of concept. Like,
Right.
oh shit, okay,
It's true
I
though.
can print these out.
My first deal was a assignment, a contract that I did. I made 20 grand on.
Yeah,
It was a house though. But that felt like $1 million at the time
yeah,
too. Because
yeah.
I was like, bro, like what? Like I was what 20? And I was like, bro, like how am I doing
Monster.
this? Like this is crazy. And I remember telling my parents and showing them, and they were like, no way, like this is this is crazy. And then it just went up from there. And then I started learning how to do land and like, but just the amount of money that you can make with this, that's what I realized. Like it became like, okay, right away I was like, I'm trying to get rich, bro. I'm trying
Yeah.
to make millions of dollars. Like
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying
Yeah.
to get millions of dollars worth of deals, trying to do as many deals as I can, and like just continue to just run it up, do as many deals as we possibly can, bro.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. And also, bro, just teaching people how to do it too. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like, there's enough for everybody to go around. You know what I
Of
mean?
course.
And a lot of these guys don't like they try to keep things to themselves or keep things tucked away and not share strategies and all this. But the more we can empower, especially people that look like us to get wealthy, is like just the more of a power structure that we have,
Yeah.
And that's what I try to preach because it's like if I can make, if I can show you some tips, you can show me some tips,
Yeah.
and we can show 1,000 other people some tips on how to get wealthy, then imagine what we can do. You know what I mean? Imagine what we could do together when it's like now we could take this money. We've built a power structure of a billion or so dollars. We go take this money and invest it into boom, boom, and boom, or whatever it is.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, just people don't think like that, bro.
Yeah.
It's just such a bigger picture than just like, oh, I'm doing a couple deals. So
Dude, I always tell people, man, wholesaling land, land flipping, just land in general, right? It's bigger than all of us. You know what I'm saying? There's over 40 million parcels. One man can't get to 40 million parcels. You know what I'm saying? So, you
let
know,
alone 1,000, man,
let alone
or 2,000.
dude. I was just telling one of my acquisitions, I was like, bro, I don't even think we'll be able to close 5,000 transactions in our lifetime.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? That's
possible.
dude, that's how much opportunities are out there,
Right.
and I love the fact that, teaching other people and showing them how to get on, it honestly warms my heart, and it honestly makes me more happy when I see somebody else pick up on the skill that I learned and now are making six figures, seven figures doing the same business that
Right.
I taught them.
Yep.
It's honestly the best feeling.
It's for me too, and I feel like a lot of people don't. You don't realize it until you teach it. Until someone comes to you with a check, or someone shows you a wire transfer, and they're like, "Man, I just made 50K, or I just made this," or it's crazy. I have we had a lady in Landverse come in. She started with like I think she started with like 3 or 4 grand or something like that. She learned the systems, learned everything. Like within 3 months, bro, she got like 60K in cash. And I was talking to her a couple months ago, and I was like, this is what you should do with it. And she was nervous. She was like, I don't know what to do with this money. I have no idea what to do with this money. I've never seen this much money in my life. And she's like, I'm just all I'm gonna do is just keep doing what I'm doing. But it's just crazy that like you could change lives like that just with this skill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like I don't know, man. It's just crazy. And for me, that fulfills me because I'm like, damn, the systems that I've been learning and the systems that I've been implementing, it works, bro. And
Yeah.
it's gonna continue to work as long as you're able to talk to people, you're gonna make money.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest skill of knowing how to just market, talking to people, selling it.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, man. Real estate, wholesaling, land flipping, all of that is just sales and marketing.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Sales and marketing. And once you master those two, you can make money in any different, like literally, you can make money in any state, any city,
Right.
anywhere, right? Because you just mastered those two things, which is sales and marketing,
Right.
right? And I also had a student, just to piggyback on your student, man. It was crazy, man. And honestly, it was probably one of the craziest things I've ever seen. So one of our other students, our mentees, she was a 19-year-old full-time college student at the time, right? She lives in Dallas, Texas. Her name is Brooklyn Brown.
Mhm.
And, she came to us. She was like, look, Jeff, I've been, trying this business from other land investors. I've invested thousands of dollars, didn't make no money. These guys told me to spend this amount on mailers. Listen, like you guys are the last people that I'm coming to learn this business. You guys seem like good people, genuine people, and I want to learn it from you guys, right? And I said, hey man, like just tap in with us. We're gonna get you to the promised land. And
Yeah.
dude, Olu, I kid you not, in 4 months, this girl makes over 100K
That's what I'm talking
as
about.
a 19-year-old full-time college student,
Love that.
and it was the craziest thing. Like she was like, Jeff, like you literally changed my life,
Right.
and this is and this is a person who's already making more money than her college professor,
Right.
at
Right.
her school.
I mean,
So,
more money than the average American too.
dude, more
right?
money than average American at
So
19, 100K.
right, right.
So the fact that, we were able to empower her and motivate her and kind of inspire her to kind
Yeah.
of, get in with the wholesaling land game, it was a game changer. And from there, dude, like it just started having like a trickle effect, right? The next mentee will come up, right? We have another successful student. full-time mom, full-time wife. She has kids at home. You know, she has a W-2 job. And dude, just this year, in 2024, she cracked over 100K
That's what I'm talking
doing this part-time. Oh,
Right.
she wasn't even doing this full-time.
Right.
You know, so this business works for part-timers and full-timers, right? Whoever wants to get in,
Right.
right? But at the end of the day, you got to put the work in,
Exactly,
you
bro.
know, because a lot of people, they think, you know, real estate is fast.
Right.
They think it's fast money when in reality it's not. It's
No,
slow.
it's
Your
not.
first 2-3 months, it's going to be slow,
Right.
right? Because you're building out your pipeline, you're building your connections, you're building your relationships with
Getting better on
builders,
the
sellers.
phone too.
You're getting better on the phone. You're
Yep.
getting better at understanding your markets, your areas, how to make your offers. So, you know, your first 2-3 months is just you're learning,
Right.
right? But then after that, dude, you're it's literally like riding a bike,
Right.
right? The minute you find that win, now you're gone. You know
Exactly,
what I'm
bro.
saying? So definitely, I love teaching it, and I love changing other people's lives through it.
You know, I think that one of the biggest things we get when people want to join is, you know, why do you teach this if you could just do it yourself? If you could just keep doing that's the biggest thing I hear.
I hear
The
that all the
biggest
time.
objection, right?
Yeah.
And the answer to that is what we just said, right? Changing people's lives, right? I had another student last year, came in the 2023, made 30K, last year made 220K, right? Like the feeling that gives me, I'm going to continue to make money regardless. That's just me, right? But I can show someone else how to do it too. How many of your professors have shown you how to make $200,000?
Zero.
Not a single one. How many people's universities teach them how to make that much money?
Zero.
None. And so like that's just, I mean, it's a superpower, bro.
Yeah.
It is. And so that's why I want to teach as many people how to get wealthy as possible.
Yeah.
And so when people are like, oh, well, if you don't do it yourself, well, I do it myself too, you know, like, so just that objection of like, why do you teach it if, like, what do you feel about that? Because I feel like I get that a lot of just like, why do you teach it if you could just keep doing it yourself or just do more deals? Like, why teach it?
I mean, that's the thing, man. A lot of people, right? They just have this stingy mindset,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
So there's a lot of stingy people out there, man,
Yep.
who don't get their blessings,
Yep.
right? Because they're just too focused on themselves and focusing on running up a bag instead of, you know, reaching out, extending your hand and
Yeah.
pulling the next person up, right?
Building a
Because this
community.
is this is how God rewards us, brother.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Each one teach one. And
Yep.
honestly, man, community is more important than ever now, especially, you know, as young black kings as we are, right?
Sure.
We need more people in this business. So it's like whoever's even reaching out and telling us or telling me like, hey man, why are you teaching it? It's something that you don't need to teach. Like, don't give the sauce, don't do this. But it's like, hey man, like
Right.
I feel better, you know. I feel like God rewards me even more when
For
I'm
giving.
teaching the next person,
Yep.
you know, for giving. So,
Absolutely.
you know, it's just an abundance mindset that I have, right? I really don't care, right? Because at the end of the day, the next person that I teach, who cares if he goes ahead and starts his own community? I know that person came from us, and now he's helping and building his own community. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
And regardless, man, we're still all in it to make money,
Exactly.
right? Because we all help each other out in
Right.
this wholesaling land and pretty much the land industry.
And that's the thing too. Like the people that show me love and show me how to start this, and like I always give those guys credit too.
Hundred
You know what I
percent.
mean? And always will speak their names in good light and everything like that. I feel like there's too much competition and toxicity when it comes
I hate it.
to education and building communities and all these
Oh,
things.
it's crazy that you say that, and
Yeah.
I hate that shit, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, these gurus this, gurus that, and it's like, yo, bro, why are you worrying about that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why are you worrying about somebody else trying to empower his own community and
Right.
build his own community when you should just be focusing on what you're doing
What you
and
have to
building
do
your
in
own
front of you.
community as well?
Exactly.
Exactly. And it's like, you know, like you said, it's a lot of toxicity in the education pretty much industry. And dog, you know, I hate it, but it's something that I kind of don't pay attention to because I
Absolutely.
like to,
Can't.
yeah,
Because
can't
at the end of the day, you know that what you're doing is real. You know
for
that you're
sure.
producing results, and that's really
Sure.
what matters. And for me, what I think about is okay, there are guys that have come into this and didn't have any kind of track record
Yeah.
before and mess things up, right? Or will charge somebody thousands of dollars for a course, then not talk to them and do all kind of nonsense, right? And unfortunately, people like that exist. And I think it's just like you just got to know who you're working with.
Yeah.
You know who you're working with. You trust who you're working with. You're gonna get results. That's really what matters. Because it's unfortunate, but the scams and stuff do exist, right?
Yeah.
And I
It
think
does.
that's one of the biggest things that people worry about is like, oh, is this a scam? And the reality is if you can see the HUDs, if you can see a couple deals somebody's done, if you can see some results, that's all you need right there. Like for
all
me,
you need.
that's all I need. And some of these guys, you know, promote just lifestyle stuff,
Mhm.
don't really show kind of like back end of what they do, or don't show a couple deals every now and then. Those are the guys you kind of gotta stay away
Yeah,
from.
you gotta stay away from the guys that are on the, the balconies,
Right.
riding the Lamborghinis, renting
Right.
the Lamborghinis, because those are, obviously those are course creators, right?
Right.
These are guys that don't really have their own business.
Right.
They're in it to just sell you a course,
Yeah.
right? But like you said, Olu, we got the HUDs to back it up, right?
Right.
We've been in this business for years,
Yep.
right? We got the HUDs, and it's not even the HUDs. We've even got the students to just testify for us,
Exactly.
and that
Testimonials.
testimonials,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And that is all you need.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's never a scam. The only time it's a scam is when you give up,
Yep.
right? When you jump into something and you know that, hey, I paid my hard-earned money. I'm gonna learn what Olu or Jeff is teaching me,
Right.
and then I'm gonna take action. But a lot of people, after they learn, they don't apply. So now they're stuck. They have analysis paralysis because they're looking all over the place. They're
Right.
looking for the next big thing
Yep.
instead of taking action on what they, obviously invested
Bro,
in.
that's the biggest thing I see when people fail
It's a lot.
is the analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
And like, okay, I bought this course, I bought this, and like they're not just locking in on one thing and then taking the action. That's the biggest thing I see when people fail. It's just like they're just trying to like, okay, let me like, all right. And they don't do anything. You know what I'm saying? They don't ever talk to anybody. And then, a few months will pass and then they're like, I don't have any deals. How many people did you talk to? 3?
Hey,
What?
I want a refund.
Right.
Yo, there's no refund.
How many people you talk to?
You didn't even pick up the phone
Right.
and make an
You
offer.
didn't talk to anybody at all and you want a refund. And I think that's the thing. That's why for me, I try to get as far away from saying like it's a get rich quick scheme.
Yeah.
Because it's not, bro. Like I'm trying to get as far away from that. Have I made a lot of money? Yes. Have you made a lot of money? Yes. Have our students made a lot of money? Absolutely. But that doesn't come without the work. And that's the biggest thing is like that doesn't come without the work. And unfortunately, a lot of these land flippers, land wholesalers that try to teach this, they make it so that in the marketing, like, oh, this is so easy.
Yeah.
Knowing goddamn well it's not. Knowing very well that it took them hours upon hours to figure this out. They had to go through a lot of stuff. And that's one thing a lot of guys don't talk about are the bad things that we got to go through. Like, bro, I've had attorney generals calling me, bro, saying like, don't send any more marketing to this area. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
Had to sign stuff. Been on the news. My company been on the news before.
What?
Yes, bro. Like that's what these are the things that I've gone through, and like
Wow.
people don't like nobody will talk about this because they want people to think that this is just a easy turn on the button business model, and it's not. It's stuff you got to go through, bro, and you got to be one resilient person in order to get to the point where you're making millions of dollars doing this.
Of course.
It's just facts.
Yeah, man. And a lot of people, right? Because when I first started, man, it took me average anywhere from 4 to 5 months to get my first deal. A lot of people are not going to do something for 4 to 5 months to see a return. And that's why I tell people like, hey, man, starting off, this ain't no get rich quick. Can you close a deal in your first 30 or 60 days? 100%.
Right.
Especially if you obtain the information and literally not try to reinvent the wheel, and you literally follow the steps that you have laid out or I have laid out, you will be successful. Right. But at the end of the day, we know this takes time. We know it takes time to build your business. We know it takes time to get better at having conversations with sellers,
Absolutely.
how to make offers, how to know your market. So yeah, man, it's not a get rich quick scheme, man. It's something that it takes some time, right? And it's not easy. I tell everybody this, hey man, wholesaling land is not easy. The concept is easy, but starting off while you're taking action, it's not going to be easy because at the end of the day, it's you versus you. And a lot of people, when they jump into it, they have something that's just called a short-term gratification where they're just like, hey man, if I don't make 10K or 20K in the next 30 days, this is a scam. Right. And that's where a lot of people lose the minute they have that short-term gratification.
Well, so one thing I say is that it's simple, but it's not easy.
Simple, but it's not easy.
That's my biggest thing. And any of my videos, people can go look. I say it's very simple. I never say it's easy. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not easy. And for some people, yes, if you're willing to put in the work, it's gonna get easy. At the point where we are now, it's very easy for us to go pull 50K out the market. That's really easy. I know, like, if I ever, well, this will never happen. I made very smart investments, but if there was ever a point where I needed money, I know exactly how to go get it. In 30 days. You know what I mean? But it's because I'm that good at it. It's because you're that good at it. You can go, you practice for hours. That didn't just come, from nothing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, and you said something else too that I wanted to touch on about the instant gratification.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of people, like in our society, everything just happens so instantly. Right. You want whatever it is that you want, you just get it instantly. You want to order some food, it's right there. You want to go, and people have to realize that this doesn't come like that, bro. And everyone is looking for the easy out. Like the reason why 1% is called 1% is because the 1% are willing to do the work, bro.
Yeah.
It's not because of anything else. It's not because this person inherited it. It's not because this person it's not because this person is a bad person or whatever it is. A lot of people have such a bad outlook on people that make a lot of money and think that they're very evil and all these other things. And that's the worst outlook to have, right? Because you're never going to elevate to that point of being wealthy and having, I mean, even just a baseline making a million a year.
Yeah.
You'll never have that if you just think that the rich people and wealthy people are so evil and predatory or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Trying to get over on you.
Yeah, bro. And it's not the case. And I think obviously, yes, there are people out there that are not good people, right? But that's another thing of just practicing. You got to know how to talk to people, how to read a person, all those things. Because a broke person can be like that, and a rich person can be like that too. And you know, just like you said, man, instant gratification, just not being like not expecting it right then and there, bro.
Yeah.
And like looking at that college, like if you look at this like college, right? You don't make money in college for what 6-7 years, bro.
Sure.
Let me ask you this: so you went to college, you graduated college, so did I. How long did it take for you to get your first check after college?
Ooh, man. I would probably say a few months.
Right.
Like I would say probably 6 months.
So
Because after college, I was applying for jobs.
right, so
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, 4 years, then 6 months. That's
It's
about 5 years.
almost 5 years.
You were on scholarship though, right?
Yeah, I was on scholarship.
But
Yeah.
I was on scholarship too. But imagine not being on scholarship. Most people are not.
Yeah.
So what is that? The tuition is like $50K a year. Is that right?
Around there. Yep.
So okay, $50K a year. That's $200,000. If you got loans on that, that's you see what I'm saying, bro? Like we
Adds
talking
up,
about
man.
a couple $100,000, no return after 4 years and 6 months, no return at all.
Just that.
Let alone when you get the money, your first check is what?
First check is $1,200.
Okay, $1,200. So I just put in $200,000. My first check is $1,200. And then when people come to us and then they spend, 5 figures, right? Then it's like, I need to get my money right now. You know what I'm saying? And they're not willing to do anything like the work to actually get there. And that's why I tell people that come into Landverse, if you're going to do the work, it's going to happen for you. If you're going to do the work and learn everything I say, it's going to happen for you.
Yeah.
I promise you. Just follow the system. The principles will always work of what we do. It's just like they got to follow the principles. You got to work. You know what I'm saying? Principles work and you work together, it's going to work for you.
You're going to win every time, right? Not overthinking it, right? Because like I said earlier, Olu, it's just not trying to over and reinvent the wheel, man. Everything is just laid out for you, right? And I say the same thing in our community, right? Because we pretty much have directions and orders that every single person that comes into our community, they have to follow.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, not everybody follows every single step down
facts.
to the T, where we have it like, hey, man, this is literally what you have to do in order to get your first deal.
Right.
Follow every single step. And then, dude, on the last step, once you get there, now you're going to start to see results. Right. But a lot of people just, they don't trust the process.
Yeah.
They don't trust it. And they trail off, or they go to Amazon e-commerce and they try to make money over there. Or, hey, man, I want to try options trading. Hey, I want to try drop shipping. And everybody's mind is all over the place. And honestly, I blame social media, right? And I love social media because obviously we've both benefited from it.
Of course.
But it's also, it screwed a lot of people's brains, man. It's fried a lot of people's brains because they're just chasing the next big thing when they should just find one thing, sit down, kind of like college, man. When you go to college, you pick your major and you sit down for 4 or 5 years, you master, you learn that major, and then you get out into the real world and now you start applying for jobs that fit your major. It's the same thing, right? We got to treat it like the same thing. And I tell my students, man, like, hey, if you treat this like college, if you treat this like school, you will be successful and you will see a faster and quicker turnaround.
Absolutely. You'll see a faster, quicker turnaround than 4 years, $200,000 in.
Dude.
Students are getting results within, 3 months.
Yeah.
And that the fastest I ever had a student join. Next month he made $50K. But but he was like going crazy every day. Like, oh, Femi, what do I need to do here? What do I need to do here? That's what you need. That's the mentality you got to have to get to that level, though.
The urgency.
Right. And so a lot of them don't have that. And this is a system that, yes, works, like I said, very well. You said something too about social media. And I think that's one thing that, just the focus, bro.
Man.
You got to have focus if you're going to do this and like do it well. And a lot of people don't, because there's also the dopamine hits that you get. You see like, all right, yeah, I'm doing this land flipping stuff, but then I just see this dude made whatever he made on options.
Yeah.
And that you get dopamine. It's a dopamine hit of like, man, what if I was able to make that much money in 2 seconds or whatever it is? But this same dude is not telling you how long it took him to get to that level. You know what I'm saying? So when people are looking at the end results, the end product, and are not looking at what led up to that, not looking at the process. And that's what, if people just focus on the process of focusing and building on this product, man, bro, like, it's just people don't do it. Like for me, when I was coming up, I was focused on my process.
Yeah.
I'm focused on my process. What do I need to do to get to this point? What do I need to implement? What are the strategies? I'm not looking at a guy's finished product. I'm looking at what a guy did before that, right? So like any guy that I look up to, I'm looking at what was their process like?
Yeah.
Like how long did they sleep? What kind of stuff did they eat? What did they study? What did they read? Who did they talk to? Who did they connect with? What kind of skills were they working on? That's what I'm thinking about. I'm not thinking about, oh, he made 20 million today. Well, what led up to that? You got to go back and look at the process. People look at the end result and don't focus on, all right, what do I got to do to get there? Whether it's Amazon, land flipping, e-commerce, whatever the business model is, there's going to be a process to get in there. And if you don't follow it, you're going to fail at every single one.
Every single time, man. Every single time. And it's the process that honestly turns you into a monster. Mm-hmm. If you master and just fall in love and enjoy the process, that's what's honestly going to turn you into a monster, because now you're just numb to the grind. Now you're just numb to the process, to the point where now you're just seeing results every single month.
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying? Because you just dialed in and focused on the process.
Right.
Because it doesn't matter, man. Like, yeah, you can have a goal written out. Hey, I want to make $1 million this year, but dude, you got to become that person before you even see that money.
Literally,
So just like you said, Brandon, it comes down to the process, knowing what that person's eating. How often is he working out? Right. I judge a lot of people by their body.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest, Olu. I'm not taking advice from somebody who's got 300 pounds. Dude, they can't even see their fucking dick in the morning when they're pissing. I'm not taking advice from that person. I don't care how much money you have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just because I know the level of focus that I'm trying to obtain and trying to get to where it's like, hey man, honestly, like I only want to surround myself with just go-getters, sharks, and just winners in all aspects. Right. Not just financially.
No, absolutely. Because it's not just about the money. It's about every fucking part of your life. It's about your faith. It's about how you in shape, how you are with your family. It's about every part of that, bro.
Yeah.
A lot of these people trying to just focus on the money. That's where you're wrong. That's where you get it messed up. Like you got to focus on every aspect of life. And then I think for me, like once you get the money, like it gets to the point where it's like, all right, I just want to focus on these things that matter to me, And I think people spend so much time chasing money, they forget about everything else, and like you said, bro, I don't want to do any business with somebody that is fat, or doesn't take care of themselves, or if I see a guy got holes in his shirt, why do I want to do anything with you?
I don't even want to talk to you. But
bro. And that's what that's just my style, bro. That's how I am. You got to be clean cut, in shape, know how to speak well. And if not, then I'm good, bro.
Yeah.
And I think, like, again, it's just having that, it's just being good in all quadrants, bro. You got to be good in everything. You got to be good in everything that you do. It's not just about the money. And before, like you said, you got to be that person, right? Before I had money, I was like that. Before I had money, I was clean.
Yeah.
Before I had money, I was in shape. Before I had all that, I had my faith. You know what I mean? Before I had all that, bro, that was just the baseline of who I am. And you said too, like, you just got to be that person, bro. And it's facts. You just got to literally just be that person that you feel like, who's the guy? I made a video about that. Who's the guy that will be like the person that you see yourself at the end? You just be that dude now. You know what I'm saying?
Just be it now.
Like, what does that dude look like? You know what I'm saying? How does that guy talk, dress, like act? How does he work out? How does he train? What does he do? And just being that person, bro.
Literally being that
powerful,
being that main character mode, man.
Facts.
So Olu, quick question, man. I know, we're both coaches. How often are you getting people that's coming up to you, "Hey Olu, I want to learn how to land flip, but I don't even have any money. I don't even have any money to invest
Yeah.
in your course. I don't even have any money to, become a mentee of yours." How are you kind of helping these guys who don't have any money or who come to you, or people out there that want to get started in land flipping or
Yeah.
wholesaling land, but they literally have no money? What do you tell these guys?
So it's hard to get into something like this if you don't have any money. And if you have your bills to pay or whatever it is. And guys like that, I tell them to like do everything you can to get your first $10,000.
I agree.
You got to do everything you can to get your first $10,000 because you might think that you're going to send out a couple texts or a couple mailers and you're going to get a deal. And it may not happen like that. You got to be able to hold on for 6 to 8 months. If you hold on for 6 to 8 months and do it every day, and you're able to, foot the bill every day, and you're talking to these people, okay. I'll give you an example, right? I actually have two stories to tell you. One, I have students that will like have deals, right? And they're working their deals. And then if the seller doesn't give them an answer they want, they're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna just follow up with him like 2 months from now. Like, it's like,
Nah.
and this is why I have to teach, right? This is exactly why, because I'm like, no, you need to call him every day,
Every day, dude.
right? And I'll give you another thing too. When it comes to people that are looking for things for free, right? I'm sure a lot of people come to you looking for stuff for free, right?
Or opportunity, like, "Hey Olu, can I work for you and just learn?"
No, what do you have to offer me? Because I,
Yeah,
I mean, with us building our brands and everything like that, we have access to some of the top talent in the world.
of course.
And so some kid that is 14 and broke, I'm not really looking like you need to work on yourself. Like we were just saying, work on yourself, dress right, eat right, work out, make some money, then come to me when you're ready to level up, right? That's the kind of people that I want coming to me, the people that are ready to level up, not the people that like are like, oh man, I got $5, bro. Because I can't help you. I cannot help you if that's you. I can't help.
Yeah.
Right. I'll give you my uncle called me last weekend and actually joined Lambert's. Pay full price and everything, bro.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Own blood.
Family, bro. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
And this is like, that's the craziest thing to me. This is like my uncle. Like we used to go to Blockbuster together, go get movies and like hang out. Like this is my
And
blood uncle, bro.
and usually family want a discount.
That's what I'm saying. He didn't want a discount or anything,
Wow.
bro. He was like, you know what? I want to learn how to do this from you. And he had took a call with another land flipping school. He was like, nah, my nephew does this. He called me, signed him up, bro. And like now, bro, he's already taking action though. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? So if my uncle pays full price, I'm not giving anybody any free tips. Like that's not, because it took me a lot to get this, bro.
Yeah.
And that's what ask you too. Like the battles and the wars that we've had to go through to get to this point, there's absolutely no way I'm going to give away my stuff for free.
Yeah.
Right. And so when these guys are like, oh, you're a course seller and you're just this and that, it's like, you don't understand because you haven't been through it. Anybody that says that hasn't been through the war. They haven't been through it. And the guys that have been through it, they're all like, yep, it's a fraternity of guys that's been at the top already and done the deals and been really successful that know what we had to go through to get to this point.
Yeah.
And if you want to get to this point faster, if you want to get to it without hitting the landmines like we did, it's best to just join up and learn, bro.
You gotta pay to play, man. You gotta pay and cut your time in half.
Facts.
Right? There's a reason why there's cars like Lamborghinis, fucking Maseratis.
Right.
Dude, these cars are, equipped to go at top speed to cut your time in half, right? It might have a 30-minute destination, but if I'm in a Lamborghini, I'm gonna get there in 15 minutes.
I don't
Right. But if I'm in a Toyota, I'm gonna get there in exactly 30 minutes.
I want
You
to
know
pull
what
up
I'm
to
saying?
the party in an AMG or a Ferrari or I'm not trying to pull up in a Toyota.
Yeah, no, and every time. And I tell people like, man, treat this like the car that you want to get in, right? If you know for sure you want to see instant success as fast as possible, right? You gotta pay. You gotta pay for the information, right? Yes, there's all the free information on YouTube, right? That everybody posts that we have on content on
Of course.
YouTube where everybody can go out and just absorb the free content, right? But when it comes to the bread and butter, the nitty gritty,
The intricacies of it.
the details of what makes us thousands, hundreds and thousands of dollars every single month, you got to pay.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody's just going to give you that information for free. And a lot of people have to understand, man, like dude, like when you're paying for mentors, right? You're paying people that's gonna literally help you make 6, 7 figures. You're
Right.
not paying to go get paid $2,000 every single 2 weeks.
Right. Right.
Right. We're not paying you to be stagnant.
Literally controlling the money that you make, bro.
Exactly.
Like being able to control the money. Like when somebody asks me like how much I make in a year, I actually don't know because I control it, bro.
You control
You
it.
know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm like, I don't know, like I should be making around this, that, but I don't know because
Yeah.
I don't get a salary, bro. You know, it's like I pay myself very well, pay myself what I pay myself, and it's like, but nobody controls that. And that's the craziest thing is that there are people that have never experienced what it feels like to pay yourself.
Mm, mm.
Never experienced what it feels like to pay yourself, control your own money. Like, bro, that's and that's how I've always been. You know, I know I told you the only job I ever had was working at my uncle's car wash when I was a kid. you know?
Wow.
So I've always just been an entrepreneur. So
Oh,
I've
wow.
never, I really don't know what it feels like to like W-2. And I told myself very young, I'll never know what that feels like, bro.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And just if people just think like that and trust themselves, because like you said, bro, nobody else gives a fuck about you.
Nah.
They don't.
Mm-mm.
You know, the world doesn't care about you. The government doesn't care about you. All these all people waiting on stimulus and stuff like that. It's like,
Don't care.
bro, you need to get off your ass, bro, and get to work because
Yeah.
there's so much money out here.
It's too much.
Too
And
much.
I had somebody DM me like a few days ago. He's like, "Yo, Jeff, I want to pay for your course, but man, I just don't got the money right now because I just pay for rent. I just pay for this." I was like, honestly, bro, I'm gonna be real. Nobody gives a fuck that you just paid rent, especially
Bro.
if you didn't pay yourself.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, bro, if you're gonna use rent as an excuse for you not making more money, hey, bro, you're forever gonna be stuck in your
Yep.
situation. You're forever gonna keep making the same excuses because now you're never gonna get ahead because you're relying on that same excuse. Hey, man, I had to pay rent. I had to pay, bro. I don't give a fuck.
Or I was just
We all got bills.
facts. I was just like, you know, I was a little irresponsible with my money this month, but what?
Yo,
I don't care, bro.
I had somebody tell me, yo, I had to buy a Harley. Yeah, bro, go sell that Harley and then invest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These guys are not. A lot of guys are not serious.
They're
bro.
not serious,
You're not
man.
serious about getting wealthy, bro.
Not serious.
And you coming to me like I'm supposed to be your therapist or something.
Oh,
Look, you want to get wealthy, you want to get rich, I'll show you exactly how.
Yeah.
Here's what it is. Here's where you sign up. This is how we do it. This is how we can lock in. If not, walk the other way.
Yeah, we have nothing else to discuss.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And a lot of guys like, again, bro, I'm not a therapist. So when you want to talk to me about your financial problems and all this stuff, look, and the thing is, I'm a nice guy. So like, I'll give you some advice on like where to go and how to do it. But like, bro, I don't want to hear about like you had to pay this, you had this problem, bro. We all have problems, bro. Everybody has problems no matter how much money they have, bro. So yeah, but
yeah, man. I
could go on about that all day.
Yeah. No, dog. I say it all the time, man. Like nobody gives a fuck. Nobody's coming to save you.
Yeah.
Right. And dude, like the moment people start waking up and start putting themselves first and really understanding that, dog, not my job can save me, not my 401k. Nothing's gonna save me from making more money but myself.
Yeah.
And you have to literally put yourself out there.
Right.
Right. You know, me being from Broward County, how I grew up, Olu, right? People used to consider networking, oh, you guys meat riding. Right. It's like a little term. It's like a little term like, you guys, oh, you guys are dick riding other people to nah, man. It's not even like that. Right. Because like I said, man, where I'm from, it's just a lot of people that's crabs in a bucket, right? They don't want to see people elevate, succeed. So they have this crab in a bucket mentality where it's like, oh, I'm not trying to go talk to this person and make him feel like this and that. When in reality, hey, man, if you're having issues, put your pride to the side, right? Ask the questions that you have to ask. Right. And a lot of people have too much pride, and that's why they're not able to make money, bro.
And it'd be a lot of people that are closer to you too,
man,
that have those kind of, because they see you as the person that they've always seen you as a kid. You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
Or like, oh man, you know, there's no way you're doing that, you know? And they've been in the same exact place for the last decade. Never gonna change, never gonna do well for themselves, still having financial problems, still in credit card debt, been in the same exact issues. But it's like, for me, all I do every day is just elevate. That's all I think about. And you think about the soccer game or the basketball game or the whatever it is. That's all you thinking about. You're not thinking about, how do I get wealthy? And then when people want to talk about it, like you said, when you're trying to network and stuff, people say that, you're meat riding. And at the end of the day, it's like, no, bro, I'm trying to elevate. That's
Yeah.
all I want to talk about, bro, is doing deals. How do we build a power structure? How do we get more people in and make them a lot of money? Like, how do we do all these things? How do we, like, I want to implement my systems better. I want my automations to be better. That's what I want to talk about. Yo,
Yeah.
bro, are you using this system or that system?
Yeah.
How are you using that? How are you automating your employees to do X, Y, and Z? Yo, what is your KPI like for how many people you're talking to versus how many texts you're sending out versus how much mail you're sending? That's what I want to talk about.
Exactly.
And most people want to talk about fucking LeBron. I don't care about LeBron. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
That's
preach.
like,
I'm gonna be honest, man. Watching sports is for broke people, especially
is.
if you're not where you're at, man. It doesn't matter how many and it's sad, bro. There's people that know more about LeBron stats than how much money they've
what do you
made,
fucking have,
yeah,
bro?
or
That's what
have
I'm
in their
saying.
bank account, or
Yeah.
have made in their entire
Facts.
year.
You don't
You know
even
what I'm saying?
know. I mean, bro, you don't even know where your money is going. you know that LeBron got however many points or whatever it is. I'm like, people, just normal conversation, like if I'm in a barbershop or whatever, oh man, you watching the game? What the fuck are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know what NFL teams there are. I don't know any of that. But that's what I'm like, just because I'm focused on getting money,
That's it.
getting wealthy. That's what I'm focused on, bro. I'm not focused on like anything that doesn't have to do with that. Anything that doesn't have to do with being a good husband, being a good father, being a good brother. I don't care, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about any of that, bro. And I think bro, that's why we are where we are. And the guys that are focused on these other things are the guys that are having financial problems. And then the same guys that's telling you, oh man, I bought a Harley, so I can't learn how to get rich.
Dude.
That blows my mind. Bro.
Yeah, you can't. I promise you, I'll show you the screenshot. I can't make this up.
Right.
We get these type of.
I'll show you
people,
some too after
dude, we get
this.
these type of people coming in every single day, and it's just like, man, at the end of the day, nobody cares. Put your pride to the side and be ready to. Problems, but the only way to actually solve these problems is by putting in that work, brother.
That's it.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it. And it's you. I think a lot of people just don't get introspective enough and they want to blame everybody else for their problems. And at the end of the day, I always know that any problem I have is because of me.
Of course.
And I always know that any situation I'm in, I can get out of it because I'm me.
Yeah.
That's just the confidence you got to have to be at the top, bro.
Yeah.
To be the 1%, to be the guy that, oh man, whose car is that? That's the guy I always wanted to be. And that's the guy I am now. You know what I'm saying?
To this day, bro.
And like, that's just what it takes. Oh man, whose 200-foot yacht is that? You know what I'm saying? Oh man, these mansions are nice. It would be great if I had that. And the mansion they talking about is mine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's who I am. And so I have to embody that in everything that I do. The only way to get there is by being introspective in yourself. You know what I'm saying? The only way to be there is like looking at what are my habits like? What am I doing? Who am I? And how do I get to that point?
Yeah.
And it's not your mom, not your dad, not your brother, not nobody that can save you. Nobody. It's just you. Like you said, just strap up and let's get to work.
Yeah.
You know?
And Olu, one thing, man, how do you feel about, because I love having these conversations about just personal development, money. I love talking about how to make more money. But then there's a lot of people out there who get insecure when you're talking about money. They feel like, well, Jeff, money isn't everything, right?
Money's the only thing.
How do you feel about those type of people that say, well, Olu, money isn't everything, even though you talk about it all day? How do you feel about these people?
I say money isn't everything. Money is the only thing. It's the only thing.
Say it again, brother. One more time.
Money isn't everything. Money is the only thing. Because if you don't have money, you have literally nothing, bro. Everything that we have, everything that I got on right now costs money. This studio costs money. You getting here costs money. We about to go to lunch. It's going to cost money. Like, all these things cost money. So if you don't have any money, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You can't pay for diapers. You can't pay for food. You can't pay for anything if you don't have any money. And so when these guys are like, but the same people that say, oh, you're bragging and boasting are the same people that are broke.
Yeah.
Whenever I talk with my friends about money, like guys like you, I'm talking about guys that have money. We're talking about how to make more money, right? If I tell you, Jeff, I made $1 million today, you're not going to be like, oh, you bragging and boasting. You so cocky, you so arrogant. You're gonna say, how'd you do it, Femi? If you tell me, Femi, or you say, hey, I made this amount of money today, I'm gonna be like, how? Show me. I'm not gonna be like, oh man, Jeff, bro, you always you cocky, bro.
That's all you want to talk about,
that's all
man.
you want to talk about is money. And like, bro, I have people that say that to me all the time. And people that say that to me ask me if they're in my life right now.
Oh yeah, man. I've lost a lot of people.
You know what I'm
Femi,
saying?
I've lost a lot of people, bro, with this journey, man,
Right.
with just building my business, because not everybody is gonna see the vision. Not everybody's gonna understand what we're talking about. And
Right.
obviously you're gonna just literally friends are just gonna fall off.
Facts.
Right. They're just gonna fall off. They're just not gonna want to talk to you anymore
Of
because
course.
they know this is like, hey, this is not the same Femi.
Right.
It's not the same Jeff that I
Right.
know.
Right.
This is all he wants to talk about now. I want to talk about football, basketball games.
I don't want to talk.
He wants to talk about how to fucking go from $100K to $1 million a month.
Right.
Which honestly, everybody should be having money conversations.
Absolutely. And
money conversations should be in everybody's household
every day.
every single day.
Yep.
Every single day.
Yep.
Turn off your Netflix.
Yep.
Unsubscribe from every subscription that's holding you back from investing to yourself or investing in yourself. And just, dude, come up with a plan on how to go from 0 to 100K and 100K to an M. It's all the steps, but a lot of people are not willing to sacrifice and do those things. Sacrifice Netflix, sacrifice Hulu, sacrifice just nonsense subscriptions that hold them back from
a million different distractions,
dude,
and $0.
As far as with land flipping, because I know a lot of people are like, hey man, what's the starting cost? Starting off, right? And I know we're in the same industry, but there's definitely two different budgets,
different nuances to what we do.
Exactly. Yeah. So for land, and then I'll touch base on usually the amount of money that people can use or have to get started. But when it comes to land flipping, when it comes to buying and reselling on the MLS, what's the average budget that people should have before getting started in land flipping?
Yeah, I mean, at least $10,000. At least 10,000, and you can do it with a lot less. But in order to sustain this for a few months, and that's what I always say, you got to be able to sustain this for a few months straight. If you just come into this and try to do it for like 30 days, then it's going to be hard for you to get some results. And if anybody's promising you results in 30 days, 60 days, even 90 days, people are promising you that and like saying, you can make 6 figures in 90 days. I would stay away from those people because yes, you can. And again, I told you earlier, I've had students that have done that, but I'm not going to promise that because I don't know what you're going to do.
Exactly.
And so as far as the actual processes go, it's really just 3 things. You need leads. So that's marketing. You need acquisitions. That's talking to people on the phone, getting deals under contract, closing them. And you need dispositions. You got to know how to sell your properties quickly.
Yeah.
If you have those 3 things, you're in business. And if you can consistently talk to people, I say at least anywhere from at your beginning, you can have anywhere from 25 to 50 conversations per month. 25 is really on the low end, but at least that. If you're having that many conversations a month, you're going to get a deal.
100%.
Right? And the metric I use so this is the metric I use for $500,000 a year. $500,000 a year equals 100 conversations per month. Right? If you can have 100 conversations per month, you're going to get deals within that year that will net you $500,000.
Easy.
Right? You got to be aimed at the right product. A lot of guys get aimed at like products that are, desert squares and things like that, and stuff that really has no utility and no one really wants to buy.
Yeah. The
things that we go after is more rural recreational land, larger residential tracts. I've done farmland. I did a 700-acre ranch one time, bro. Like, those are the kind of assets that I go after that people are going to want, and a lot of people go after undesirable stuff. And it's still guys out there teaching that model of like, buy this land in the middle of nowhere that's not buy anything, it has no utility whatsoever, and it's going to take you 1,000 days to sell, And that's not what I teach. I teach people how to go in, find markets where these things are moving, like assets at 200 grand, bro, 300 grand, 400 grand are moving in 30 days. That's what I teach. I teach you how to go find something that you can sell for $400,000 and somebody will buy it from you in 30 days.
Yeah.
That's what I teach, bro.
Yeah. Same thing, man. It's kind of the same thing, even though you're doing it with, bigger numbers. It's the same thing for us, man. When it comes to wholesaling, right? You need the 3 things, right? Knowing how to pick your markets, acquisitions, and dispositions, right?
Yes.
Those are the 3 main things that you need in order to get started wholesaling land.
Yep.
But the thing that we teach is, so we do reverse wholesaling,
Mm.
right? So we have our students pretty much focus on builders first, right? So
Yeah.
we have them go into the areas where there's just a lot of new construction going on,
Yeah.
right? Because we do a lot of hyper focus on infill lots, lots
Uh-huh.
that are 10,000 square foot, you know, sometimes even half an acre, right? We go after infill lots where, you know, the turnaround is a lot quicker because these home builders, they're paying all cash,
Right.
right? They're paying all cash and they're closing in 30 days.
Right.
So, you know, we have our students go after builders first, build connections with these guys, get their criteria, know where they're buying, how much they're paying. So that way, just like you said, Femi, they're just not in these random areas marketing and making offers, right? Because that's where a lot of people fail because they don't know how to market. They don't know how to find these areas in desirable areas where the lots already have utilities. They already have, you know, sewer, water, they have everything,
Mhm.
right? So that way it's easy to sell that piece of land that you have on a contract to a developer
Mhm.
and make money in less than 30, 45 days.
Yeah. That's what we do too. Is like just understanding the demand and like how quickly something's sold.
Yeah.
And the biggest metric that we try to use too is making sure that there's way more demand in the market than there is supply.
Same.
That's like one of the biggest things that we do. Cause if there's no demand there, no one's gonna buy it from you.
Mm-mm.
I need to see proof of concept too that sellers I need to see proof of concept too that buyers are gonna go in there and perform immediately and have the money, have that 300, 400, $500,000 to just put down.
Mhm.
That's what I want to see. When I'm in a market, I don't want to see assets that are sitting on the market for 2,000 days, bro. Like that's not going to you're not going to be in a good situation. And so we implement a lot of different strategies to find these markets faster than anybody else will find them, bro. So like it's funny like a lot of the markets that I've been in, you know, I was like one of the first people to go there. And so people still ask me to this day. It'll be some of the most advanced land investors that'll text me, call me, hey Femi, like, do you have anyone in here? Because they know I do. Because
Mhm.
I've been to that market like probably a couple of years before they even knew about it. You know what I mean? And so that's one thing that like getting really good, like just on the front end of your business, getting really good at, you know, understanding the demand of an area. So that way when you go to sell it, it'll sell quickly. And then when you talk to people, bro, understand how to talk to people,
Yeah.
building that rapport, building that trust. It's like you need to become number one at those two skills. Those two skills alone make you a millionaire
Yeah.
in 3 years.
Yeah. I agree. I agree, man. And honestly, bro, just even having that experience while working a 9 to 5, because my first real job was a sales job, you know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So just knowing how to talk to people, bro, once I had that skill, when I got fired and I pretty much translated over to real estate,
Yeah.
dog, it was just so easy, bro. Cause I was always, you know, somebody that would love to have conversations with just random people. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? So
Yeah.
just getting into real estate, dude, I just felt like it was my calling, bro, because I love talking to people, bro.
Fact.
Like I tell people this all the time, bro. I talk to sellers more than my own family and friends.
Yeah.
Like I spend all day talking to sellers, talking to my buyers, more than my family and friends, because
Right.
these are the people that truly, you know, will change my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
These
bro.
sellers will change your life if you know how to talk to them, if you know
Yep.
how to build rapport, and just, you know, honestly make a friend. You know, I
Yep.
try to tell my students like, oh, don't go into the conversation just transactional because
Mission breath and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
now they're just gonna treat you as just the next person
Right.
because you're coming into the conversation transactional.
Right.
But dude, if you come at the conversation where it's like, hey man, I don't even care if I either, you know,
Do
buy
the
the
deal or
lot
not.
or do a deal or not. Exactly. Like, dude, I just want to, you know, make a friend. So
Right.
we have that model, like, dude, just make a friend. Make a
Facts.
friend. And then if you can make 50 friends, 100 friends
Yes.
every single month,
Yes.
dude, deals are gonna come to you
Yes.
easy. Now you're attracting the deals instead of chasing it.
Yep.
You
And
know?
that's one of the biggest things that I teach too. And it's funny you say that because I mean I've gotten so good at it to the point where I have sellers calling me 2 years from now
Same.
saying like, man, I really
Yeah.
appreciate what you did there, you know? And even like if a deal didn't work out, that's how I am too. If a deal doesn't work, we still have sellers that call us back later because we built the rapport.
Yeah.
Nobody remembers you if you just, you want to sell your land? Like,
I can pay you 100 grand.
yeah, okay, like,
Dude.
what do you want for the land? What's your best price? Like, that's not going to get you any deals, bro. And that's what like people think that being a good salesman, being a good salesperson is actually like selling. Like I got to do all this stuff to sell you. I don't have to do anything.
Nah.
You want to work with me? You're going to know how to work with me just off my strength, bro. Just off who I am. just off how I talk to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just, and most people just don't have that. Bro, most people are gonna go into these sales academies and go watch all these different tactics on how you can close and sell somebody, and that's not what does it. I don't do any of that, bro. When I talk to these sellers,
It's honestly, I'm gonna be real. It's honestly cringe,
yeah,
right? Just even trying to use. And don't get me wrong, no shade to any sales coach out there, but because there is some, definitely some
course.
certain
Some of them work.
topics,
Yeah,
some certain objections that definitely work.
Yeah.
But all in all, man, being a good person and just trying to make a friend is the best tactic that you should always go into every single conversation.
and really being that good person though,
Being a good person, not
just
faking it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Some people will fake it. Not
Yeah.
just being a good person so you get a deal closed. Just actually being that kind of
Yeah.
person in life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And most people, unfortunately, most people are not like that. And they'll be like, I gotta be. I saw a video the other day. Somebody was talking about you gotta be a psychopath to be a good salesman. I'm like,
No, you don't.
where the fuck? Where is this coming from? What are you talking about? And that's sad that people will listen to a person like that as opposed to like just having really good communication skills. Okay, you want 50? I want to buy it at 35. We're gonna get down to my price, or I'll meet you at 40, but I'm not paying 50.
No.
Just knowing some of these certain things of how to do, like how to just talk to someone so you can get what you want. And you don't have to manipulate someone into getting what you want out of a transaction or out of a deal or out of anything. You don't need to manipulate somebody. You just have to communicate very well, make eye contact, understand pain. You understand all these. That's just life, bro.
Yeah.
When you realize that, like a lot of things that make you just well versed in life actually come from these businesses.
Yeah.
You know, like me building this business made me so well versed in life. I could talk to anybody about anything. Literally, like I talk to anybody, and I know, you know, me and you, we've traveled a lot. We've been in a lot of different. Between us, bro, we probably been in like 50 countries or something like that,
bro.
you know, and so it's like we can adapt to any situation, you know, and that's what you learn from a business like this, being able to adapt to any situation, all while making yourself a top 1% earner.
Exactly. So, yeah, man. I agree, brother. I agree. You know, that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about, is just being an overall good person, not just in business, but in just life general, because that's when things just start to attract to you. You feel me? And you don't have to chase anything. You know, now that, you know, we've been able to build our businesses, build our land communities, like, dude, now it's to the point where it's just like all we're focusing on is just attracting more of the right people.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So deals is going to get closed regardless,
Yeah.
right? And we're way past that. That's bread and butter.
To the point I don't even have to, like, I mean, I still
Dude.
talk about deals that I do, but
Yeah.
bro, it's like when I wake up in the morning, that's how, like, that's how it feels. Like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just saying, literally, me closing deals feels like waking up in the morning.
Yeah, it's bread and butter.
Okay,
man.
what's new? I woke up. God bless. Thank you.
Yeah.
On to the next thing.
On to the next,
Yeah.
bro. It's really just the outside things that kind of just makes it more. It makes it more fun, man. It makes the journey more fun. Teaching people, getting people, and just, you know, having them understand what it is to be just a top 1% is just, honestly, it's a good feeling, right? And just having these type of conversations with other like-minded individuals,
100%.
it's always the best type of conversation. It's like a breath of fresh air, you know, like when I'm around other people that just want to succeed.
Absolutely, bro.
You know, because dog, you are who you hang out with, and
Yep.
if you, you know, if the top 5 people that you're talking to every single day is just not talking about leveling up,
You're gonna be them.
you're just gonna be the next person, man, just not leveling up.
And it doesn't matter for me if that's your family or it's your friends or these people, whatever, because again, bro, people will love the version of you that they see they can get something out of, that they see they can. As soon as somebody realizes they can't get that from you and they can't get those things out of you, they don't. Like, bro, I've helped so much of my family, and I've been so blessed and lucky that my family like is reciprocates that love though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've also helped out other folks where, you know, I help you, and then the first sign of anything that doesn't go your way, I say no or whatever it is, then it's like, oh fuck you, you broke anyways. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah.
I'm broke, but I helped you do X, Y, and Z. You know, and you got to get away from those people. Bro.
Yeah.
You got to be around the people that are gonna push you. You got to be around the people that want to see you win. You know,
Sure.
like I genuinely want to see you win.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Likewise, brother.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know that and I feel that, you know? And like a lot of guys are just not like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, I ain't gonna tell him this because I want to be ahead of him. I'm not trying to, I don't, I'm on my own fucking journey. I'm not on your journey. I'm not on this person. I'm on mine. So how do I become the best I can be? Whether that be better than this or that, I don't even, I'm not thinking about
We're
that.
not thinking about competition, dude.
Bro, I don't care. My blinders are on. I'm just focused. I want to be the best man I can be.
Yeah.
And if you don't feel like you're the best, like you should feel like you're the best. I should feel like I'm the best, and we could be the best at the top. You know what I'm saying?
It's, man, I tell people this all the time, man. The competition is literally at the bottom. You know, the people that are making a lot of money is at the top, right?
Right.
They're collaborating, right? They're, like you just said, bro, they're focusing on becoming the best version of themselves
Right.
and then connecting with other people on the same tip.
Right.
You know, and I even tell people this all the time, bro. Like, when you're even starting off in your entrepreneurial journey, I know there's people that like to go to their parents, ask for advice. Dude, honestly, when I first started real estate, I ain't checking with my mom or my dad.
Shouldn't.
You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, to anybody out there listening, don't go to your parents asking for advice on how to make $1 million, especially if your parents have never made $1 million,
Let alone 200,000.
let alone 100 grand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, and I love my mom, I love my dad, but I would never go to them for money advice because they've never made that much money in a short amount of time. Right. My first check, I made 5 grand and showed it to my mom. My mom couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
She was like, "What the hell? I've been working
illegal, huh?
Yeah, bro."
Yeah.
I was like, "Ma, nah, this is legit." You know what I'm saying? This is real estate. This is how I make my money, blah, blah, blah. And then once you started seeing checks coming in, dude, I'm 24. My mom's seen 30K come in at her front door, at her doorsteps, and she just couldn't believe it. Like, I literally had her salary in my hand, and she was just like itching her head, like, "Whoa,
What did you just do?
what did you just do?" Like, "Oh wow, damn, Jeff, you really don't need college," right? Because my little brother, at the time when I first got started, you know, he was in high school, he was a junior.
Yeah.
So, you know, when he entered his senior year, you know, my mom was hard on him about going to college. Like, "Hey, Jeff, I know you're making a lot of money being an entrepreneur, but I really want our son, I want your brother to go to college to do all this." But I'm like, "Hey, mom, if he doesn't want to go, he doesn't want to go."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be real. Like, he doesn't need it, but I understand that you're trying to make him get a piece of paper. But at the end of the day, man, like, times have changed.
They have.
Right. It's changed drastically. And honestly, you know, my little brother doesn't have to go to college. He can literally come on with me. I show him the ropes. And literally, Olu, my brother works with me. And in 2024, as a 18-year-old, 19-year-old acquisition, he made over 40 grand.
I love that.
Dude, 40 grand in his bank account at 18 years old. I never had that much money at 18. Right. All because he learned how to talk to people, right? Learn how to build rapport. And he just learned how to make offers and literally do the same exact thing that I do in my business. And I showed him how to do it. And now, you know, he's doing it at a high level at 19 years old.
Right. Yeah, I love that, man. And that's what it's about, just paying it forward. And I think, like you said too, you shouldn't listen to anybody that's not in the position that you're trying to go to.
Yeah.
And about anything. And a lot of guys will try to say, "Oh, well, you gotta, work your good job for 30 or 40 years and do your 401k, and then when you get 65, then you'll be able to enjoy it a little bit." I don't want to. I've enjoyed my life so much, bro. Like, from being like 20 years old to 24, I've lived. I feel like I've lived so many lives, and like been able to travel, been able to take my family on trips, bro. Like, that's like, do you know, like, how it feels, but like, you know exactly how it feels. Taking your family on a trip, like, everything paid for.
Yeah.
I got y'all your room, your suite, everything. You don't have to worry about anything, bro. We go to a villa, got it. Like, bro,
Best feeling.
like, it's the best feeling ever. Like, just even talking about it, it's like, bro, I've done all that before the age of 25, bro.
Dude, you're still young, bro. I'm 29.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I've done it. And I actually got into real estate at 24.
Right.
Where you're at now. And
Yeah.
it's crazy that the success that you've had up until now, dude, Femi, you're light years ahead of just the average 25.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, brother, you're killing it, and it's only gonna get even crazier. It's gonna get even more insane, right? You're gonna make way more money. You're gonna just become this person that you're not even gonna remember your 20-year-old, your 24-year-old self.
Plan, bro. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, you're on track, brother, and definitely proud of you, bro. You
Appreciate it.
came a
Likewise.
long way, bro. Like, at 24, bro, I was just getting into this business. And the fact that you've already had this massive success, kudos to you, brother.
Appreciate it, bro.
For sure, bro. Like, I tell anybody out there, man, if you know anybody in their 20s or even, 30s, right? Because even 30 is still young. But
Yeah.
dude, if you know anybody anywhere from 20 to 30s that's making 6, 7 figures every year and then also teaching it, like
You need to be learning from
you
them.
gotta be learning
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
dog, I'm gonna be real. I'm not learning from a 70-year-old guy, and I'm not gonna knock off the old guy. He's probably done thousands of transactions,
Right.
but I would rather learn from somebody at that age because it's like, yo, bro, what's what made your mindset switch
Mm.
at this such young age? Because some people don't change until they're 40.
Yeah.
Some people don't wake up until they're 40, 50.
Right.
And it's scary, but us waking, bro, I didn't wake up until I was 24, 25.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you been woke up.
Yeah. It's because I didn't know anything else, though.
Yeah.
I don't know anything else.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. Like I told you, I don't know what it feels like to get a W-2. I don't know what that feels like,
Yeah.
and I never wanted to know what that felt like. So I didn't care, bro. Like I would have, like I've said this before, bro. If I had to be on the fucking street,
Yeah.
I would have done that just to figure out how to get my own. That's what I would have done. And like I just have that crazy mentality where when I get into something, I'm gonna take it to the top, bro.
Yeah.
This school that I'm building, the school that you're building, I want to help you take your stuff to the top. I'm gonna take my stuff to the top too.
Exactly.
I want to make 200 millionaires. I want thousands of students coming into the funnel, bro. That's what I want. I don't want anything other than that. And you said like, the goal is to make myself unrecognizable. I want to continuously make myself unrecognizable to like this version of me that's 24 right now and having success, whatever. The version of me that's 34, I want to look back on this version of me and be like, man, he wasn't doing shit.
Bro, we wasn't.
You know what I mean?
Dude.
That's
Yeah.
my hunger though. I want to look back on it and be like, man, now we're at a whole different level. Like, yeah, I just want the 34-year-old Femi to come back and be like, man, like, that's the
Definitely.
goal, bro.
Yeah, man. And bro, literally it's the goal will be accomplished.
Oh, absolutely.
Regardless.
It's already
no
happening.
matter what, it's already happening.
Yeah.
And to anybody out there watching watching this interview or watching the video, like, dude, you're learning from two passionate Black brothers that are really passionate about, teaching, self-development and just taking it to the next level. And, to anybody out there who have any doubts, who have any, second guess, like, oh, I don't know if I want to invest with Femi. I don't know if I want to invest with Jeff. Dude, no worries, guys, because with or without you, we're gonna go to the top,
Yep.
But we definitely want the right people in our circle, ready to grow, ready to learn, but most of all, ready to take action, right?
Yeah.
Because the faster you take action, the quicker you're gonna see results.
Absolutely. And that's the biggest thing. I think that it's very rare to have, like you said, two positive young Black men just getting after it.
Man,
Not falling into the stereotypes.
no.
Not like trying to make connections. Not trying to kill each other. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to it's like, and again, bro, like, I grew up around certain things like that. And I know people like that.
Same.
And my thing is just always going the opposite way. Always just being positive. And unfortunately, like, we're two, like I said, we're two dark-skinned dudes, bro. The connotations that come around guys that look like us are not positive.
Yeah.
All these guys have all these different baby mamas and they do illegal things. And my whole goal is for people to just look at me, look at you, and be like, man, that's the example. That's the standard. That's what I gotta shoot for.
Yeah.
And I want it to be like, it's attainable, bro, because I'm just a person. You're just a person, bro. We got a brain, we got eyes, we can study, we can see, we can read. And that's really what it takes. It's just the action, like you said, bro. And it doesn't matter. Look, the green doesn't care what color you are. The green don't care if you're black, white, yellow, green. It doesn't matter. The green doesn't care.
Yeah.
So as long as you follow the principles, no matter what color you are, no matter where you're from, no matter what part of the country you're in, no matter if your phone is a flip phone or an iPhone, the green doesn't care as long as you follow the principles. So if people come in to what we're doing, learn it, and follow the principles, the green will always follow. So
I agree, brother. I agree, man. I agree. Man, this podcast is perfect, bro.
yeah.
Talking like, just freestyle, just organic. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gotta go off a script and
Uh,
talk. Oh, but read
bro,
off
I
questions.
just met you the first time an hour ago,
An
bro.
hour
We
ago
literally just walked in, came up here,
and
sat
just
down,
chopped
just
it up.
started talking.
Chopped it up.
So that's all it takes, bro.
Yeah. And I
Um,
love it, bro. I love these kind of things, bro. It's definitely more organic. I love that shit, bro. Just organic content.
love that, bro. What's your information so everybody could just
Man, bro, for everybody out there, man, who honestly made it to the end, sat down, listened to the game. Everybody out there, follow me on Instagram, Jeffrey Altidort, JeffreyAltidort, and then also follow our academy at the Land Flipping Empire. That's on Instagram as well at the Land Flipping Empire.
and then for me, my Instagram is the Olufemi B. This is probably on my YouTube channel, so you guys already know my Instagram, but the Olufemi B, and then follow me on Instagram as well at Landverse, LandVRSE at Landverse. You guys want to start learning how to flip land? Make sure to book a call. You guys want to tap in with Jeff, learn how to flip or wholesale lots? Get in, tap in with him, tap into Instagram, and actually, big announcement on here. Jeff and I are actually doing a 3-day event. Right, we don't know the exact date yet. We're literally about to talk about that right after here, after we get off of this. But really, just showing you how land flipping and land wholesaling complement each other, and how you guys can really just transform your financial lives in 2025. Because I mean, who else is going to do it but you, right? So we have a 3-day event going over literally everything that you're going to need to start, build, scale a land flipping business, land wholesaling business in 2025. Make sure you stay tuned for those details.